Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And I'm delighted to welcome you here to Middle Temple today for this very important event and to welcome those who are joining us online. We're delighted you've been able to come and join us to mark this very significant day in our students' lives and to help celebrate their achievement in being called to the bar. My name is Christopher Geeker. I'm the Under-Treasurer and the Chief Executive of Middle Temple, and I run the Inn on a day-to-day basis. I'm the 40th person to have held this job since the first recorded appointment in 1524, which perhaps tells you something about the age of the inn and its very long history. One of the elements of the inn, of course, of which we are proudest, is the four walls around you. It is, of course, Middle Temple Hall, which was begun in 1562 and has been in use since 1570. It replaced a previous Knights Templar building and is one of the finest Elizabethan halls in the world. It has a very long history, but it is not a historical relic, nor is it a museum. Rather, it's a living space and in many ways is the heart of the inn. It's used by our judges, barristers, new practitioners, and of course our students who come here for lunches, dinners, lectures, performances, social events, and great ceremonial events like today's. Over the centuries, this wonderful hall has been the venue for feasts and dances, concerts and plays. It has survived riots, the plague, the English Civil War, and unlike other areas of the temple, it survived the Blitz of World War II, but only just. A bomb blasted a great hole in the east gable to my right, to your left, up at that end of the hall, and reduced that beautiful carved wooden screen to rubble. Happily, it was restored after the war, and our hall remains virtually unchanged. When the students sign their name in the call book shortly, you will be joining generations of Middle Templars who have preceded you since the 14th century. Members of the current judiciary, such as Lord Burnet, the current Lord Chief Justice, Lord Phillips, Lady Scotland, and Lord Judge. But not just lawyers, people such as Walter Raleigh, Henry Fielding, and Charles Dickens, as well as Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, and our current Royal Bencher, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, who was called to the bar in 2009. It's a rich tradition, and a very distinguished line of individuals have come through this hall, to which, of course, we add today all the students who are about to be called to the bar and have achieved this distinction in their own right. All of you here today have shown real dedication to your professional futures at the bar. Many of you will have juggled jobs and competing commitments to family, friends, work, and study. You will have forgotten what free time feels like. You may even have forgotten what your loved ones look like. They may have forgotten what you look like. But you are all here today. I'm proud of you and what you have accomplished. I would also like to add that we here at Middle Temple are also very proud of you and your very significant achievement. This will be said to you a number of times today, but if you haven't already started to think of us as your professional home, then I hope you will do so in the future as your careers develop. Now, before we begin, I'd like to introduce to you some of the individuals that you're about to meet today and who you will see during the ceremony. The Masters of the Bench, or the Benchers as we call them, are the senior members of the inn who make up the governing body. You will have met some of them, and some of them will have been involved in your study over the last few months. They have all been through the bar course, and they have been through the professional stages of the career. Then there's the reader. In the earliest days of the inn, Master Reader used to deliver law lectures here in this hall to Middle Temple students. At one time, the reader used to have sole authority to call students to the bar, but today she will be presenting you for your degrees. Last but not least is the treasurer of the inn, the Right Honourable Lord Lloyd Jones, a Justice of the Supreme Court and the chairman of our governing body of benchers in this, his year of office. The treasurer will admit students to their degrees today, and the coats of arms that you can see displayed around the hall and in the corridors leading to it are those of past treasurers and readers. That is the cast. But of course, you are an absolutely key part of the production, which is why I'd like to explain a little about the sequence of events in the call ceremony we're about to witness. In a few minutes, the masters of the bench will process into hall from the door on my right, your left. Not all of them, which is a good thing because there are several hundred. At this point, we would ask you to stand if you're able to do so. You'll then be invited to be seated when the benches have taken their places. The reader will then open the ceremony, and then each student will be called to the bar one by one. Today, we have 57 students being called here in person to the bar. Although we are here to recognize their achievements, if we paused to applaud each and every one, we'd probably be here for almost as long as it took to complete the bar course itself. So I hope you'll understand if I ask you to refrain from clapping until all the students have been called at the end of the ceremony, when we can applaud them all together. Following the presentation of all the students, the treasurer will then give an address. And finally, to close the ceremony, we will signal you should stand again as the benchers process out of the hall by the door to your left, through which they came at the start. A couple of points, please, if I may. Please note that no photographs should be taken during the ceremony. You may, of course, take photographs afterwards, and there's a professional photographer on hand should you want to take formal call day photographs. And finally, may I pause briefly to ask you to ensure that all your mobile phones are switched off. Once again, I'd like to express how very proud we are of our qualifying students today, and how delighted we are that you are here with us to mark this very special occasion in the passage of their professional lives. I hope you thoroughly enjoy the rest of the day. The treasurer, the benchers, and I look forward to meeting as many of you as possible afterwards. Thank you very much.
Degree of the Utter Bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Ashley Lo Hui Lee.
Ms. Lowe, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the Utter Bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Ho Jia Chung.
Mr. Ho, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the Utter Bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Elaine Tang Shi Ning.
Ms. Tang. Ladies and gentlemen, please could I invite you to join me in congratulating the new barristers. Newly called barristers of the Middle Temple, on behalf of all of the members of the Middle Temple, it gives me enormous pleasure to congratulate each one of you on your call to the bar and to welcome you to the profession. You have today become members of the profession of barrister, and I hope that from now on you will regard the Middle Temple as your professional home. The ceremony in which you've just taken part is held in the hall of our inn. It is, in my view, one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. This year marks the 450th anniversary of its completion. We know that the first Queen Elizabeth visited the hall on at least one occasion on the 3rd of March, 1578. The table, the cupboard on which you have just signed the roll, is made from the hatch of the Golden Hind and was the gift of Sir Francis Drake. We know that the first recorded performance of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night took place here on the 2nd of February, 1602. The hall, as well as being much loved by all Middle Templars, is a symbol of our continuity and of the traditions which we have inherited, the most important of which is the promotion and the maintenance of the rule of law. I know that you will all be worthy successors to the many generations of barristers who have been called in this hall, and that we can look to you with confidence to uphold the rule of law, which, when all is said and done, is fundamental to civilized life and one of the great blessings which we enjoy. Let me turn from the past to the present. Today, you have all good reason to celebrate. Today marks the completion of an important step in your legal education. All that hard work, all those hours in the library and in lectures, well, they paid off, didn't they? But I'm sure you would be the first to acknowledge that you could not have achieved this academic success without the help and support of your families and friends. And it is an enormous pleasure to see so many of them here today. Please, would you join me in applauding them? And please, would you also join me in thanking Krista Richmond and the education team at the Middle Temple. So what about the future? You're joining a great profession. In the years ahead, you will find it challenging and demanding, but also, I hope, rewarding in all sorts of ways. There will be the fascination of the cases that come before the courts, both as to their facts and as to the law. There will be the thrill of advocacy and the satisfaction of helping those who come to you for your advice and your help. There will be occasions when you will be very conscious of the great responsibility which you bear. There will be other occasions when you will be excited and thrilled simply to play your part in the legal system. You will find that this inn and the wider legal community will be very supportive. This society will do everything it can to assist you in your careers, and we look forward enormously to having the pleasure of your company here in the inn. Seeing you all assembled here today, I must confess to a slight sense of envy. I have been very fortunate in my legal career. I've had wonderful support and encouragement all along the way, and I've been given many great opportunities. You, however, have all your careers before you. You have it all to look forward to. And I must confess that if I were offered some sort of Mephistophelian pact which might enable me to change places with you today, well, I might just be sorely tempted. So enjoy today. Enjoy your celebrations, enjoy your careers, and seize every opportunity which is presented to you. Believe me, I and all of your colleagues in the Middle Temple wish each one of you all of the success in the world. Thank you.